So you're a startup founder. You got a lot of interesting things happening in your life. You're getting customers. You're talking to customers all day. You're closing customers. You're making more revenue. You're talking with investors, facing some rejections. There's a lot of things happening in your team. The way you're building it, pulling all nighters. So there's a lot of interesting things happening in your team. Now, how do you turn that into engaging LinkedIn content so that it reaches your target audience more and you get to reach more of your target audience than the customers that you right now have, and then reach them, get more leads and get more pipeline from them and turn that into revenue? How do you do that? So that's what we're going to be talking about right now. And I've analyzed over 200,000 posts in the tech niche as well as in the marketing niche to understand what actually works and what actually doesn't. So this will be a curation of all of those things that I've understood and then putting it in a proper way so you guys can actually go and actually implement this in your LinkedIn profile and then be able to get more engagement. So these are going to be actionable stuff you can go implement right now and even today. And why should you listen to me, right? If you go to my LinkedIn, I don't have much followers. So this is what I've done. I'm an engineer. I've analyzed over 200,000 to even more posts, but these are the highest quality posts, 200,000 posts that are in the tech niche. So today that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So we're going to be going over that with a case study of an actually really good profile that made use of this particular structure and did really well and got lots of leads, and potentially I'm guessing lots of leads and even lots of pipeline through LinkedIn, and it's a primary source of it, and they get also getting a lot more engagement. And this is a well done profile, so it's going to be a really good example of what you should do, and also what you should not do. You would not easily find, because that's not in the feed, right? So that's what we're going to be going over. The profile that I want to talk about is James Hay. So he is the founder of Artificial Society. So it's basically an AI company in the that was accepted into Y Combinator and winter 2025. I'm guessing even you might also be maybe a YC founder or maybe a startup accelerator or a solo founder. It greatly applies to any kind of startup, right? So this particular person, okay, so he started posting about basically his product, and then it has grown on to really good LinkedIn leads. So as you can see, his engagement, right, 22 comments, around 200 likes, 100 likes, 160 likes, even 700 likes. So what is the structure? So what is he doing that is making him get more and more engagement through his LinkedIn profile, right? So in order to grow on LinkedIn, right, there should be basically a reason for people to see your posts. So why should people be interested in your profile and why should you see your post? So let's just say you're an AI founder or you have basically run like a AI sales platform, right? So why should people follow you? Why should people use your product? So you should first start thinking about that and then break that down into stuff, right? So first of all, maybe people want to see more technical content, right? They want to see why your team is technically really good for them to be able to follow you and thereby build trust and be able to then go to your product and then use your product and then be used to it and then buy their subscriptions and go on like that. So there should be a reason why they should see a profile, right? Different profiles have different goals. So main profile, mainly if you're a technical founder, people would want the structure, the content strategy would be that people want to see technical content. People also want to see how you're building it, just like the life aspect to it, right? How you're working with the team, maybe how you're closing deals and how you talk with customers, the problems that you see with customers and how you get customers, all of those things. So life related stuff as well as technical related stuff. So that is if your profile is in the technical niche, right? If you're maybe in the sales niche or you're a HR, you're a recruiter, people want to see more of your life, right? You want to get more eyeballs as possible into the posts. So the structure of your content linked to your profile might totally differ, but what works for James Hay is technical posts and then connecting that with life related posts, right? So let's go ahead and see how he does that. So if we see the first post over here you can see there's a good image of his team member, and then he is talking about how he featured one of his engineer at a news company at a news. Yeah. So this is a live post that is related and linked to the startup that is building. It talks about what is the skill of his team, right? So it basically builds credibility, whatever we talked about previously, right? It builds credibility to the person seeing that the people in the team are really cracked and really really good at that they are being featured at news. So it builds a credibility for the person as well as the company they are working. So this LinkedIn post is focused on creating a life aspect to the post as well as linking this to the company and also building the credibility of the company. You can also see that the posts are not AI generated, right? Right now LinkedIn does not surface and does not promote AI generated posts. It's easy to restructure what posts look like AI and the type of structures that AI, ChatGPT or Claude written. It doesn't surface those posts. You can see over here, it's really like you can easily see that it was written by him. At least it was written by him and then formatted by ChatGPT or something. It was not written by. It was not totally written by. You can see the structure is also good, but he's also focusing on connecting his company with the life aspect, maybe with the team, maybe with people he built. Although, if you go to the second post, right? This is a learning related post. Okay, so this is a second maybe content pillar of the structure. It's quite simple, guys. So this is after analyzing tons of posts. Okay, so this is basically a learning related post. So he has basically built companies before, he has worked at companies before and also learned a lot of things, and now he's building artificial societies, and then he's done a lot of things, right? He has done YC demo day, all of those things, and he's sharing what learning he got from that. So he's talking about prioritizing easy wins in YC, and also the images showcasing the YC demo day image. Then he's basically talking about that, right? So it's a basically learning image. So this is basically to build his profile. So first we saw building credibility for the company and also linking that with the team and life related aspect. This is second one, which is a learning aspect. So it basically builds gives people a reason to basically follow this person. So this will follow this person, not related to the company, right? So basically learn something from the person and then follow them, similar to how you subscribe to YouTube channels, right? So this is a second aspect. Third aspect is the technical part. So as this profile is a technical profile, right? Technical content is important to keep the balance. So basically for the balance of the profile depends on what you post every week. So there must be a technical post. Technical posts can be 2 or 3 or 4 posts. That doesn't matter because the goal of the profile is technical. So those are technical posts. Second one should be a life related post. So basically like what we talked about here, right? So it's a life related post linked with the company, which builds credibility for the company. And second one is a learning related post, which basically gives people a reason to follow your profile and also brings in new kind of audience, but targeting the same profiles that you want to target. Maybe it's technical people at technical teams, things like that. So it doesn't basically show LinkedIn doesn't show these posts to marketing people or anyone. It basically shows these posts to the right people, which are technical teams. You can even see that in the likes or comments. If you go down, you can see this guy is a founder, this guy is a product director, this guy is an AI transformation partner, he's an AI software innovation leader, he's a staff full-time developer, AI engineer. You guys can see it's surfacing it to the right people, right? So that is the target of this particular content field. And the third one is a technical post, right? Obviously it depends on what you're building. Maybe you're building a sales tool, maybe you're a marketing manager, maybe you're a startup founder, right? You're building a specific company, which is the goal of this particular video that you're watching right now. You're a startup founder, you're building something technical post is what is going to be actually building the credibility for your specific product. Why should people see your profile? Why should people use your product, right? So you do when you're thinking about promoting your product, you shouldn't be talking about your product. You should be talking about why it's useful, what it has changed for people, talking about customers, highlighting those customers, highlighting customer success, highlighting customer feedback. Maybe they didn't like it, maybe liked it. Those things, you highlight those stuff, so people automatically on LinkedIn, right? People want to learn stuff, people want to get hired or hire people, they want to connect with like-minded people on LinkedIn. So that is the reason, right? You want to talk about technical stuff. If your focus is on a technical product, you can do 2 or 3 posts a week regarding technical stuff. That is a lot, but I'll obviously show you how you can do two or three posts within a couple of minutes. It's going to be very easy. So that is the way. There should be, so this is a specific content structure, right? So if you go to the Google Doc, interesting stuff happening in your day, so that is a life related aspect connected to your company, which, and together with the learning. And then there's technical posts. If it's linked to your company, you can do this 2 to 3 times a week. Also sharing your backstory. So these are the learning related posts that we saw. There's also curation of posts. So basically, if for example, if you're a company that provides AI search with memory, all of those things, you can basically talk about certain papers that were released. What is your take on that? You can talk about maybe specific memory companies, why they are better, and what is your choice for how you build memory in your company. Maybe talk about certain model launch, things like that. You basically curate other content, maybe news content or releases or launches or papers, studies, anything, and then you put your take on it. So this is a very important part of content that a lot of people overlook. I've seen after analyzing a lot of specialized profiles, right? Because maybe certain profiles are highly targeting enterprises. So those type of profiles really find it useful from doing curation of posts, because it basically shows people what you think, what your view is, right? So basically builds your authority in the industry much more, because you're sharing about GPT-5. What are you sharing about it? Do you know about it a lot? All those things. So it basically informs your viewers that you know all these things and builds your credibility even. But so this is the basic content strategy, right? So you need, if whatever startup you're running, these four things, at least these three things, these three common things is very important. And obviously there's a lot of interesting stuff happening in the day, right? Just think, and also I'll show you how you can turn that into content. But there's obviously a lot of interesting stuff happening in a day. Thinking of them in these three groups, just like 5 minutes, it will just give you a lot of ideas every week. So that is the content strategy. But how do you directly reach those people, right? Because you could continue to post this, make these posts on LinkedIn, but it might only reach maybe your high school friends, or maybe your friends, right? Because they're connected with you on LinkedIn. You need to create a feed where LinkedIn shows a post that you make to those feed, to the people in those feed only. So how do you build the feed, right? So with other profiles, right? With YouTube or TikTok, maybe with TikTok, but with YouTube and profiles like Twitter, you cannot basically make your posts be shown to a specific person or specific persona. That is not possible. But with LinkedIn, it's very much possible by engaging with people in your industry through comments and likes. So basically, let's say, coming to the same example, you're building a search company, linking with memory or GraphRag, all of those things. Then you connect with people in that specific space. People maybe releasing papers in that industry, maybe maybe search related companies, and what are their takes on it. Maybe you comment on their posts. And maybe AI engineers, because these are the AI engineers are the people who make the decisions to maybe use the product or not. So you comment on their posts, all those things. So basically comment on people who are in the industry, who maybe already have the audience you want to reach. So basically, if you're a search company, you basically try to comment on those people's posts, or you directly comment and engage with people who you directly want to target, right? If you want to target like an enterprise or someone, you basically comment on posts of certain lower org or mid org people in those companies, maybe managers or AI engineers, or maybe higher tier people. So you basically think of that and then target those people. You need to basically engage with both of them, so you have maybe high chances of success. And do this maybe 30 minutes every day, which will make sure that your profile will start getting slowly cool down, and then go into reaching those people. So that is how you basically train LinkedIn to show your post to them. So that is how we do that. So all of these things, right? It's important that you build your content strategy, as well as think about how many days are you going to be posting. Maybe are you going to be posting on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, all 5 days a week on weekdays, or are you going to be posting on weekends, or you're going to be planning on weekends and then scheduling it for the weekdays, what is going to be strategy, right? Because obviously you guys are doing a lot of important things, there's a lot of time. So how are you going to be structuring your day in order to be able to make use of LinkedIn and make use of LinkedIn potential leads and revenue? So that is why we built Postking, right? Because I've analyzed tons of posts, 200,000, even more posts through data, through code analyzing. All of those maybe likes, all of the hundreds of thousands of comments in those likes to understand sentiment and understanding images, specifically images. What are the images that perform well, what are the images that don't perform well, the timings of posts, the length of posts, all of those stuff, right? So even the sequence of posts in a week, all of those things. So with this data I built Postking. So I'll basically show you, right? So it's very easy for me right now. I'm signed into my account, and if I go to my calendar, right, my content calendar, I already have 4 posts that are already scheduled for me. And what did I do? I didn't do anything. And let me show you what did I do in order to create all of these 4 posts. So let me just show you one post. You can see over here my post is ready, and I didn't type out this post at all. As you can see, this does not look like an AI generated, just like AI slop. Basically it doesn't look like that. You can see it's very much structured, includes technical posts, technical content, technical kind of wording, different structures, and also promotion and takeaways and all those things, focusing on value, right? Focusing on the goal of my particular profile. So what I did is basically go to strategy chart, right? I go to that, and then I basically, let me go to the history and show you guys how I created this, right? So I go to the top, and then I say, so what should I be posting about, right? So I tell it to read my strategy. So there's a specific content strategy that is created for me. So I have said that, okay, I'm building Postking. I've also built a couple of businesses before, and I want to share technical stuff about that, as well as building in public about Postking and my learnings on that. So that created a content strategy, and this is that. So building in public, and 25% of it is technical, 20% is LinkedIn insights. So basically from the insights that I've gathered from analyzing all of these LinkedIn posts, and also personal lessons, right? So basically getting customers and growing your product, hitting product market fit, all of those things that I've learned, that is 15%. So this builds the content strategy, and also it builds the cadence of my posting schedule, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, this is the cadence that I was basically given for this. So how was it even picked, right? So it was basically picked from similar profiles, understanding similar profiles in my particular niche, and what are the what was the cadence of per week, how much did they post, right? And what time or what day of the week did they post, understanding that. And then I ask it to ask me questions. It asks me a couple of questions, and I give it detailed answers, right? So basically, let's say you start on a Sunday, you just sit down and ask you to create a content strategy for you, give it some answers, give it proper answers, right? If your goals are clear, then it gives you the right content strategy. Then it asks you a couple of questions. It even goes more further down, asks follow-up questions in order to understand your profile, understand what happened in your day, interesting stuff, technical stuff, lessons, all of those things in detail. I've given all of those stuff in detail, and then gives me the content for my week. So first it starts with the content for Monday. You can see over here, and I say, right, it's starting to give me content about Postking at a later stage. So I say that I haven't even talked about posting on LinkedIn yet. So it changes the strategy, and then it gives me, okay, launch Postking post. So that is a post that it gives me, and then it gives me the post for Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all of those things. So you can see the post is created, then it dives into Tuesday, and then it goes into Thursday. You can see over Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. All of these 4 posts are done. Let me go out to one of the posts it created. You can see over here. So this might be the technical posts, right? So this is going to be the technical post. Maybe it is scheduled. So I can even schedule, which I'll get into later. So I can see the post over here. I can obviously preview it. I can change it. I can go to improve and say make it professional, change the format to maybe a structured list. I want it to be like a quick post so people can understand about it, or even like multiple formats, right? It's there. there's also AI assist. So let's say I want to make it more longer and include more data points with sources and apply changes. It will do that as well without hallucination. So because it has access to the web search as well, it will do that. I could also click on images, right? Images over here, and I could click on generate image. Generate image basically is using image gen 3, so basically Google's Nano Banana Pro, using that model to create realistic images for LinkedIn. So this is after analyzing hundreds, even thousands of images to understand what types of images perform for what type of posts and what type of profiles, all of those things. So it's basically figured out. All you need to do is basically normally if you have the AI create a post, there is image recommendations, so you click on that and it will create the image for you. But if you want certain image, right, so click on professional headshot, it could generate it for you. If you want your face in it, you can basically add your face or maybe surrounding office images. It will basically contextualize the images much better. So here I can apply the posts. So I basically asked it to add more data sources with data stuff with sources. It added that as well. So you can see, right, the timeline I went through. I went to the strategy chat and I asked it to ask me questions for the week. I gave it a ton of answers, very detailed answers. It asked me follow-up questions, and then it created the content for the entire week. And I could go ahead to each content, use the AI assist over here to change it, ask it to enhance the post structure, maybe make it shorter, longer, professional, conversation, all those things. And then I can go ahead and schedule it. This is the optimal time it has suggested is tomorrow at 9 a.m., which is ideally, I guess, based on its analysis, the time where my audience and the people I want to reach are the most active. So I could go ahead and schedule the post. I could even go ahead and publish a post right now, which is kind of a basic feature of it. So here you go, guys. As you guys can see, it's very easy, and if you know the right stuff, right, it's not quite complex as you see. It's just a volume game. You need to be posting every single week, being consistent and understanding what works, what doesn't, and doubling down on that and posting more sticking to kind of like a schedule, keeping on posting every single week for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and you surely hit that level of followers and likes. So that is what we are aiming to do at Postking. Helping you create your content strategy that works well for your specific customer base, and then building content for every single day of the week to reach your target audience, and also improving your content strategy based on your engagements, right? So that is the next feature coming up. So it will basically analyze what engagement you got, comments you got. Based on that, it will improve your content strategy. So that is what we are trying to do. So if it's useful for you, I'll leave a link down below. You guys could go and try it right now. I really urge you guys go try it, because I'm implementing it for my own profile, so you guys can see the growth, the usefulness of the product as well. Also helping a couple of other people. So if you want to use it, do see it in the description down below. It's going to be really useful for you. So there's a bunch of features. You could create your content in just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's going to be really useful. So yeah, if you do enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and whatever video